Hello. So there's a lot of different items in Minecraft, and in a regular playthrough of the game, you end up getting quite a lot of them. Materials, tools, weapons, oxidized cut copper stairs, and many more. And that made me think, hey, what is the absolute minimum amount of items required in order to beat the game? Well, let's find out. We start a brand new world, and we don't get the best spawn. Why the hell did I spawn on top of a tree? I can't get blocks, so I can't dig the tree. Okay, I think the strategy, I'm just gonna die so I respawn not on a tree. Boom. Really? But after jumping off a second time, we end up getting a better spawn and reach the ground without taking damage. And now we can start exploring, and that's where we need to talk about some of the difficulties in this challenge. Since we want to avoid as many items as possible, that means we want to avoid eating food entirely. This means that the hunger bar will be a very important resource in this challenge, and we want to optimize it as much as possible. And one of the things we can do to optimize it is to use the entity punching trick once again. Normally, when you punch an entity, it stops your sprint. But if you're holding the sprint button while it happens, the game will quickly put you back into the sprint mode. But at this point, the game still thinks you're walking, so you will have the speed of the sprint without the increased food consumption. And this will help us a lot to travel around the world more efficiently. But, by the way, why do we even need to move that much? Well, in order to beat the game, we'll need to go to the Nether, and for that, there's only two ways. We could use buckets to forge a portal, but since the lava bucket and the empty bucket are two separate items, that would count as two items to make the portal, and we can do better than that. Instead, we're just going to wander around the world to find ruined portals until we get enough obsidian to make a portal. Obsidian, let's go! Our first item, and our first achievement. Uh-oh, it's nighttime. I guess we're just gonna have to punch a mob and run for our life. Okay, maybe that was a bad idea. I'm just gonna go on top of the sideboard and wait for the night. Alright. Oh! Village. Okay. Now that we found a village, we can set our spawn point, quickly reset our hunger, and during our search for ruined portals, we find an enderman that we bait to a village house for our second item. Yay, ender pearl! And after some chill forest exploration... Why are there so many skeletons? We go back to searching portals. 2 obsidian, let's go. I'm low on food though. Theoretically, I could store everything here, die, so I go back to the village and then come back here. Yeah, let's do that. Hello. Now we go back. And we get everything back. Oh hey, a jungle temple. Too bad we can't get anything in here. Ouch. Obsidian, oh my god, 2 more pieces. Please be 2. Unfortunate. Okay, what do we have? Wow. Oh, come on. Oh! Okay, we're good to go. Okay, now that we have enough obsidian, we need to build the portal, but we need to be careful with where we build it. Normally, you're supposed to use a flint and steel or a fire charge to light up the portal, but we want to avoid those items. So instead, we're going to look for a lava lake with a tree next to it, and build the portal next to the tree, hoping for the fire to spread to the portal and light it up. And I did find one of those lava lakes a little bit earlier, but when returning to the spot, I had a bad surprise. Is the tree still here? There was a tree here. There's no more tree, which means there's no more hope. But after running around for a little while, we end up finding an even better one. Perfect. Oh, oh! Quick, quick, quick! Quick, quick! Okay, this should do. I am not moving away from here until this portal opens up. Is the fire gonna burn the tree I'm standing on? That's crazy. And after a bit more waiting, the portal opens up. So we quickly reset our hunger. Bloop, bloop. And the cool thing is that the lava lake is really close to a village, so we don't have to walk a lot to go back to the portal. So now, let's go to the Nether. We spawn on a big island, but the path is a little bit obstructed, so we have to punch some netherrack to make a staircase. This is not funny. And after peacefully finishing the path... Don't do that to me, man. It's time to look for the fortress. Oh. Okay. Oh, Piglin. Hoglin! I'm being surrounded! Parkour! Let's go. Ouch. Hello. Goodbye. Oh, that was a fortress! He killed me before I got the coordinates! Anyway, after this incident, we go back to the spot where we died, and we reach the fortress. But now we just have one little issue. The terrain doesn't allow us to climb to the fortress, and we still don't have access to any blocks or tools, which unfortunately leaves us with only one solution. Oh lord. It's gonna take forever. So after digging a staircase into the pillar by punching bricks for 10 minutes, this is at 5 times speed by the way, we finally enter the fortress, and that's where I realized we're going to run into a second problem. We are completely surrounded by wither skeletons, and my only equipment is absolutely nothing. And after dying to the skeletons, I realized there was just no way I could farm blazes with my little punches and without any food to heal. So instead, I decided to just rush to the blaze spawner to take screenshots of the coordinates, and then we're going to find the pillar with the blaze spawner and dig another staircase. But eventually, we managed to dig a little space to lure the blazes into the staircase, and by positioning properly, we can punch the blazes without them being able to fight back. So we farm blazes for a while. Okay, we're good. We have enough. And now that we have enough rods, we carefully bring them back to the overworld. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, this is really bad. Oh, this is bad. We're gonna make a staircase. Okay, whatever. I'm going for it. Oh, I'm so f***ing dumb. How am I alive? How am I alive? What? Where's my portal? Okay, that was not on purpose, but it worked out, so I don't care. Okay, now that we have our blaze rods, we need to get ender pearls. But because of how obnoxious the farming process will be, I would like to know exactly how many pearls I need to farm in the first place. So I decided to use the pearl we got a while ago to locate the stronghold. And after getting trolled a little bit by the game... Oh, come on. Okay, thank you. We run for about 2,000 blocks, and to my surprise, we find a village right next to the stronghold coordinates, which is perfect so that we can set our spawn point next to it and not have to run for 2 billion years every time we die in the end. Then it's time for some more digging. And eventually we reach the stronghold. And boom! Let's go. Alright, let's find the portal. Okay, I think the game really doesn't like me. Guess we gotta dig. Alright. Chest! And a pearl! Let's go! Okay, chill. Okay. Portal room! We have one eye. Okay. Alright. Now that we know we're missing exactly 8 ender pearls, we can go back to farm them. And since our fortress was located in a warped forest, that's the perfect place to farm ender pearls. So we go back to the previous village, peacefully return to the fortress. Ouch. I'm almost dead. And start farming endermen. Really? I'm gonna have to build a secondary staircase that goes downwards just for the endermen that fall. He didn't drop. Hey! It's your turn. That's actually insane. You guys having fun? Alright, fine. Please. I'm getting tired of it. Anyway, I'm gonna skip over the entire enderman farming process because it was just boring. They would take forever to teleport to us, and even when they did, they would sometimes teleport away and never come back. On top of that, they love to grab blocks and mushrooms, so we have to be extra careful when trying to grab the pearls. But eventually, we do end up getting our 8 pearls, so we go back to the overworld. And after going back to the other village, we peacefully set up the portal room. I think we're having a little problem. And after placing down the eyes, boop, let's go. It's time to jump in the end. We get an enclosed spawn, which is actually not that bad. It just means we have to punch blocks for several minutes again, but at this point I don't care anymore. And just before finishing the tunnel, an enderman falls in the staircase, so we beat him up with our little punches, and he drops a pearl. Oh, nice. And since I had a few blocks of obsidian left, I decided to do a similar strategy than what I did in the backwards challenge, where we make a little pillar to bait the enderman into some dragon breath for some quick ender pearls. Unfortunately though, it didn't work as well as last time. But after failing a pearl throw, I had another idea. Hello. Wait, that's actually a perfect spot for farming pearls. I can look at the entire dimension. If we could get some dragon breath here, that would be so many ender pearls. Alright, let's do that. So we bait the dragon to shoot at the feet of the tower, clip in the pillar, and let's get our free pearls. I knew it! I knew the dragon was gonna charge at me and prevent this from being great. Alright, fine, I get it. I'm just gonna have to punch Enderman for like 20 billion years. Alright, let's get those crystals now. Okay, now that we have a bunch of pearls, we can start destroying the crystals. And the first few crystals are pretty easy, we just throw pearl into pearl into pearl until we die. But we need to be more careful with the caged ones. Normally, I would tend to just pearl in the corner and explode the crystal, but if we do that, the explosion will break the iron bars around it and they will land in our inventory, which we want to avoid as that would count as an extra item. So instead, we're going to pearl on the side of the pillar and slowly punch the cage, of course. And after making an entrance, we can sit on the crystal and the crystal explosion will kill us before we even have a chance to drop the iron bars. So we do the same thing to the other caged crystal. Oh, Okay, well that's perfect. And we're good. We're good to go. Now we can hit the dragon. And now we just have to wait for the dragon to perch and punch it. Slowly. Very slowly. And boom! Yay! We won the video game. Let's go. Just out of curiosity, I'm curious to see... Okay, I killed 54 Endermen. Every single one of those Endermen have 40 HP. My only weapon is my punch. That's a lot of punches. Anyway, to answer our original question, it took a total of 5 different items to beat the game. Obsidian for the nether portal, and ender pearls, blaze rods, blaze powder, and eyes of ender just to light up the end portal. And if you're wondering how many items it would take on a set seed, well, theoretically none of those items are required. The dragon fight would be a nightmare since you wouldn't have ender pearl to break the crystals, which kinda leaves you at the mercy of the dragon knocking you up with the right angle, but if you're willing to lose your sanity a few times, it's probably possible. So to recap, beating Minecraft takes 5 items on a random seed, and probably 0 items on a set seed. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye!